The highly anticipated Spider-Man 3 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe finally comes out. Spider-Man No Way Home. Now it's really hard not to spoil this movie. I feel like anything I'd say could be a possible spoiler, even saying the cast list. So I'll just touch upon a few points here and then give my score, and then we'll get into spoilers and I'll tell you my thoughts on the whole movie at the end of this video. So I went into this movie pretty hyped to see it. There was a lot of hype behind it. Everyone was super excited for it. It's probably gonna make $1 billion. It's the end of this Spider-Man trilogy in the MCU, and it's just a great send-off of Spider-Man, and a movie that kind of was disappointing for me. It was way too much fan service. It felt like the movie was just all about that moment to get people to clap in the theater and to cheer. It was nothing below the surface of this movie. It had a good kind of story at the beginning with them trying to get into college, applying for schools and all that. And then it just kind of got lost down the line and just became more about Doctor Strange and the MCU and the bigger universe. And I would like it for it to like stay contained in New York, contained in high school, and just dealing with neighborhood Spider-Man stuff than trying to save the whole universe like what was happening at the end of this movie. And it's all in the trailers, all the villains that came back, but I felt each one was underutilized and didn't really put up any challenge against Spider-Man, and was kind of just wasted and just thrown in there just for fan service and just to say, oh, look at that character's back. Oh, that character's back. Oh, I love that character. I'm glad he's in it. And that's what this movie was. And it was just, it had the laughs too that most MCU movies have and all that, but it's very forgettable with these villains not doing much. And then lastly, before I get into spoilers here, probably the stupidest post-credit scene of any MCU movie. At the very end, the middle one was pretty good, but the very end post-credit scene, just you don't need to stick around for. It's terrible. It's just really bad and unnecessary, and takes away from the Spider-Man character in a big way. Unfortunately, my score for this movie is a 40 out of 100. I wanted to score a lot higher, but I was just disappointed by it. It had the potential to be it, but I need more than just iconic characters coming back and waving and saying, oh, I'm here too. Okay, so now to get into more spoiler talk here. Flash the logo up. Okay, get in close. Yeah, yeah. Andrew Garfield's in this. And Tobey Maguire. Oh man, worst kept secret. It was great to see them. It was a great moment of them coming back, but I just wish it was probably the best part of the movie is them three interacting, but it didn't really move the story forward. It did give a conclusion to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and him not being able to save Gwen Stacy, which I really liked in the movie. And I feel like Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man with all three of them on screen at the same time. He just is a complete embody of him, and I wish he would come back for another Spider-Man movie now. And then Tobey Maguire is good as well. He definitely looks his age. He looks really old. And then Tom Holland was just kind of bringing them both together and showing this new version of Spider-Man and trying to get over his anger and his revenge of what happens in this movie, which I did not see coming, is Aunt May's death. And she kind of gives the iconic Uncle Bud line, with great power comes great responsibility, which I thought was a great scene. And it was overall just bringing his character as a whole with all the other Spider-Mans. And I'm great that they switched that kind of telling of the Spider-Man story. But yeah, I felt like I just wanted to see more of the villains doing stuff and all that. The Green Goblin was the most developed character, but I needed him to be more evil and more sinister and being able not to rely on just Spider-Man to do stuff. But we'll see where this movie goes. Spider-Man's out of the MCU, it seems like, and the post-credit scene I talked about earlier was just a Doctor Strange trailer, which sucked. I really did not like the Doctor Strange character, and I thought it really hurt this movie as well.